All right, welcome back, YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about should you get a student loan. So we're just continuing our series for college freshmen, and let's kind of get into it quickly. So, should you get a student loan? First things first, have you explored alternative funding sources? So tip number one is check out alternative funding sources. What do I mean? Have you looked at scholarships? Have you looked at grants? Have you looked at work study programs? Have you looked at part-time jobs? Have you looked at other options to reduce the amount of debt that you incur while you're in school? Have you taken the time out to say, hey, I can do this or I can do that, and maybe I can write this essay, or maybe I can be a RA, or maybe I can go find me a job with some type of skill set or building a skill set so that while I'm in school, I have another source of income and I don't have to take out a loan. I can avoid taking out a loan. Tip number two, calculate your costs. So sit down and actually budget all these things out. When you're in school, what is your education cost going to look like? What is your tuition? What are your books? What are your fees? Your room and board? All those different expenses that you may incur. Now compare that to whatever financial aid package your college is giving you. So, are you getting the Pell Grant? Are you getting a scholarship from the college? Are you getting, in the state of Florida, Bright Futures or whatever it may be? If you're getting those other things, maybe you're an athlete. Maybe you have an academic scholarship. Maybe you qualify for some other grant. Maybe a single parent. I don't know. Whatever it may be. How do those things offset what you do have and what your college cost is going to be, and figure out if it's worth it for you. Number three is going to be consider the loan type. So you have federal loans as well as you have private loans. So federal loans typically offer lower interest rates, they have more flexible repayment options, and they have certain borrower protections. So that may be an option for you. Maybe you're someone who wants to get a private loan, or qualifies for a private loan that you think might be better for you in your case. Look at all those things. Consider what loan's going to be best for you if you have to take out a loan. Tip number four, think about your repayment. So, what am I saying? How are you going to pay this loan back? A lot of the times we get a loan and we think, oh, we hit the lottery. Uncle Sam, my rich uncle, down there in DC is giving me this loan, but I never have to pay it back. No, that's not how it works. It is a loan. You do have to pay it back at some point in time. Now, rather you may have a certain amount forgiven or something, maybe for public service work or different things like that. You're going to have to, in some way, shape, or form, pay this loan back in the future. And you want to know what are your options and how are you going to do that. Borrow responsibly. You never want to take more than you need or more than what is necessary. You have to keep your future in mind. If you take out a bunch of money now, what happens down the road, when you're trying to go to school or do something, that can cause problems for you. It can cause problems for you after you've graduated and you get a job and all those different things. Borrow responsibly. Number six, consider your major and your career goals. So this is something that I've noticed as I've started to look into international education, is that in the United States, we have more degree options than many other countries, and we have more degree options that essentially lead to, and I hate to say it, but nowhere. And you always hear the joke about, underwater basket weaving, but there's many other majors and things related to philosophy and art and different things that these degrees don't typically afford you any career options and you're just kind of in college to be in college per se. And I hate to put it that way because I think all education is valuable. But in a sense, if you're going to school and you're spending 100,000 on a degree from Juilliard, and you graduate and you're getting a job as an art teacher making $45,000 a year, you would essentially have a lot of debt dangling over your head, that you're not going to be able to afford to pay back. So you definitely want to think about that, and how you're going to be able to pay that back. So what are you majoring in, and what is the end goal? So if I borrow $10,000 now, but I'm gonna make $20,000 more than I typically would make, then I could pay $2,000 a year, and pay my loans off in 5 years instead of 15 or whatever. Those are the different things that you want to weigh out. Number 7 is assess your earning potential. So, like I said, go further into that career research. There are so many resources now online where you can research and say, okay, I want to be a electrical engineer. Electrical engineers start at whatever, $80,000 a year, and I have upwards earning potential of 120,000, and then maybe I can go into management and make 180,000, whatever it is. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Those numbers are not legitimate numbers, but I'm just saying, look at your earning potential and what is your career goal. So would it be sufficient for you to take out those loans and be able to pay them back based upon what you're projected to earn when you graduate? Number 8, understand interest. Now, remember, loans accrue interest over time. Now, depending on what type of loan you have, some loans you can defer interest, certain loans you can't. So maybe there's the potential that you get a loan and you're able to pay it off before you graduate, and you don't have to, pay interest on that loan. Maybe that might be beneficial to you. Or on the other hand, you might get a loan that has a 8% interest rate, and you're paying that for the next 10 years. Be cognizant of that. Number 9, have a repayment plan. So I noticed this, and they give you exit counseling when you leave college, but at that point I think it's kind of late. I think exit counseling should almost be a part of entrance counseling. You need to know how you're going to pay back that loan. What repayment option are you going to use? Is it going to be income based? Is it going to be standard? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Know how you're going to end before you begin. And last but not least, tip number 10 is going to be consult a financial aid advisor, or some sort of banking or finance professional. Consulting a financial aid advisor can be good. However, in some cases, it may not be good, because remember that a financial aid advisor works for the school. So maybe you want to contact someone at your bank or someone else that you know that is well versed in finance, and speak to them, because there is the potential that a financial aid advisor may kind of steer you towards a certain route because they're trying to get you into that college. So, as always, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you for being a part of the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.